Welcome to episode number 15 of this Vinny J NHL 22 Be a Pro series. And today, I'm obviously playing my Vinny J NHL 22 Be a Pro series. As you can see in the title, or as you guys know, based on the title that is, it's round 3, or really it's the Western Conference Finals, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. It's Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Chicago Blackhawks, Seattle Kraken. We're up 3-1. The Kraken are. Game 5 is in Seattle, as the Kraken are 1 win away from going to the Stanley Cup Final in their first year as an NHL franchise. The Vegas Golden Knights, which were the 31st NHL team, came into existence in 2017, and they did the exact same thing that we hope to do today. In 2017, the Golden Knights, that was their first year in the NHL. They went all the way to the Stanley Cup Final. The Golden Knights did, but they lost to the Capitals in 2018. In the 2018 Stanley Cup Final, the Golden Knights lost to the Capitals 4-1. The Kraken, on the other hand, are trying to be like the Golden Knights, but actually win the Stanley Cup and not lose it. So the plan is, first we just have to win 1 out of the next 3 games to get to the Stanley Cup Final. We have 3 chances. We have a chance in Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7. Hopefully the series will end in Game 5, though, because we don't want to give the Blackhawks any life. I'm going to show you the final scores of Games 2, 3, and 4, which were all off camera. Game 1 was on camera, which was the last episode of the series, and I have a playlist for the series, which has this episode plus the last 14 episodes. And if you haven't seen any of the episodes in the series, or if you've seen some but not all, there's a playlist for the series, and that playlist will be in the eye in the sky in the top right hand corner right up here. There should be an icon that pops up at the beginning of the video. I'm going to show you the final scores of Games 2, 3, and 4, which were all off camera. Game 1 is on camera, and I have to go at the May though, because now we're in June. That means we're deep in the playoffs if we're in June, which we are. We won Game 1, Game 1 is over here. Game 1, we won 5-1, which was the last episode of the series, which I posted like 3 weeks ago. So we won Game 1, 5-1 in Seattle. Then we lost Game 2, 6-5 in Seattle. That was a close game, but we couldn't pull it out. And so the series was tied at 1-1 going to Chicago for Games 3 and 4. We beat the Blackhawks in Chicago 6-2 in Game 3 in Chicago, and then Game 4... Game 4, we won 5-4 in overtime in Chicago. So, the Kraken won Games 1, 3, and 4, while the Blackhawks did win Game 2, but we're still up 3-1, the Kraken are, in the Western Conference Finals. And then over in the Eastern Conference Finals, as you can see right here, it's Boston and Philly, the Boston Bruins versus the Philadelphia Flyers. It's 2-2 in that series. So, it's a toss-up who's going to be... it's a toss-up of who's going to be the Eastern Conference representative in the Stanley Cup Final. The Boston Bruins were the best team in the the Boston Bruins were the best team points-wise in the Eastern Conference, and I believe the Flyers were the second-best team in the Eastern Conference points-wise, and the Kraken were the best team in the whole NHL points-wise. So we're the 1 seed in the Western Conference, the Blackhawks are the 4 seed, and then over on the Eastern Conference, the Bruins are the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and I believe the Flyers are the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. But either way, it's 3-1 Seattle over Chicago, and then it's 2-2 between Boston and Philly. So hopefully we can win this game. Vinny J is an 80 overall. He's played all 16 playoff games. The Kraken are 11-5 in those 16 playoff games, while the Blackhawks are 9-8. So we're 11-5, not 11-15. I might have said 11-15. But the Kraken are 11-5, and the Blackhawks are 9-8. So Vinny J has played in all 16 playoff games. He has 9 goals, 19 assists, and 28 points. And like I said, he's an 80 overall. He's the first-line center for the Kraken. I'm also going to show you our lines before we get into the Game 5 here. The lines, Jordan Eberle, I guess, is back. I think he was injured in the last episode. But yeah, first line, I'm actually the left one. I might have said center accidentally. Then I did say center. Vinny J is the first line left one. So the first line is Vinny J, Yanni Jordan Eberle. Second line, Tomas Tatar, Cal Yarncroke, and Jonas Donskoy. That's the second line. Third line, we have Brandon Tanev, Mason Appleton, and Yoel Armia. And in the fourth line, we have Brock Madin, Colin Blackwell, and Morgan Diti, I think that's how you pronounce his name. And then defense, we have Mark Giordano, our captain, and Adam Larson on our first defensive line. Then we have Jimmy Oleksiak and Hayden Fleury, and then we have Vince Dunn and Cale Fleury. I believe Cale Fleury and Hayden Fleury are brothers, I think. They're no relation to Marc-Andre Fleury, but I believe Hayden Fleury and Cale Fleury are brothers, I'm pretty sure. But even if they're not, they're both on the Seattle Kraken, I know that. So yeah, Game 5 is here. Game 5 is on June 3rd, 2022. Let's get into Game 5. 3-1 Seattle over Chicago in the series. And the game is in Seattle, as the Kraken are one win away from making it to the Stanley Cup Final in their first year as an NHL franchise. Let's get into Game 5 right now. Let's get it. Sorry, I just moved the tray table that the tripod was on, and obviously the camera's on the tripod. Yeah, home uniforms for us, away uniforms for the Blackhawks. Blackhawks have a better offense and defense than the Kraken, but we have a better goalie. Obviously this team has Patrick Kane. They still have Alex DeBrincat. I know in real life he's on the Senators, but in this game he's still on the Blackhawks. And they also have Seth Jones. Their goalie is Lankinen. I forgot his first name. And then obviously they still have Jonathan Toews, their captain. Let's get into the game. Style traditional, length 5 minutes, still pro, on-ice trainer adaptive. Let's get into Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals right now. Let's watch the presentation. James Cybulski, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Western Conference Finals, Game 5. Kraken 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Final. And we win the opening draw of the first period here in Game 5 as we're on your way here in Seattle, and they score! Johnny Dord! 23 seconds in, and it's 1-0 Seattle. His 11th goal of the playoffs. He leads the team in goals here in the playoffs, I believe. Johnny Dord does. And he gets his 11th goal of the playoffs in our 17th game of the playoffs as he shoots it by Lankinen with the blocker, or on the glove side. Dord shot it past I believe it was a blocker side of Lankinen, assisted by Eberle and Larson. And the Kraken strike first in Game 5, 23 seconds in. So we won the opening draw of the first period, and then we went down and scored. Here's Vinny J. Shot it on net, but stopped by the goalie. Picked up by Chicago as they have the putt for the first time. Dvorak turned it over. Eberle, he scores! Eberle! 2 unanswered. They got the primary assist. I passed it to Eberle, and then he shot it from a long way out. Blocker side again on Lankinen. Both goals were blocker side on Lankinen, and it's 2-0 Seattle. Not even 2 minutes into Game 7, or it's 2-0 Kraken. Not even 2 minutes into Game 5. I'm not sure why I said Game 7. Vinny, let's keep it going. We got those quick goals, but let's not stop there. We need to keep the pressure on them. Got it. So the challenge is up the pressure. I always do the team response. I never do the star response. So yeah, it's not over yet. We're 2 minutes. I think we're not even 2 minutes in, are we? Well, either way, we're about 2 minutes into Game 5. I'm not sure why I said Game 7. Yeah, we're literally 90 seconds into Game 5. Scored by Eberle, his 9th goal of the playoffs, assisted by Vinny J. And what a hit on Kubalik. That was by Eberle. Eberle. Center and pass got broken up by Chicago. Here's Jones. Here's DeBrincat as Chicago, I think, has the putt for the first time in our zone. 3 minutes in, blocked by the guy, whoever was in front, to play. Up ahead, Yanni Dord. 3 minutes in the game 5. 2-0 Seattle, shot blocked. And I bumped that guy, but the putt went right to Seth Jones. Here we go, 4 minutes in the game 5. 2-0 Seattle. Here's the Brintet, and a glove save by Dreeder, his first save of game 5. And he gets the whistle with 16:05 to go. The Brintet, 14 points, leads his team in points here in the playoffs. I'm off the ice, 4 minutes in the game 5, 2-0 Seattle, 11:37 to go in the first period, 2-0 Seattle still here in game 5. Still, I mean, yes, we do have a 2-0 lead, but still 2.5 periods to go. It's not over, it's nowhere close to over. Shot blocked, and now right in front, and he's stopped by Dreeder from point-blank range. 11:05 to go in the first. Top 10 in goals, you can see there's Dord, Vinny J, and Eberle. I should be, and you might be thinking you should have a playoff beard. Vinny J should have a playoff beard, but I just don't like facial hair, so I don't like facial hair on my players. That's a good bump by Jones. It's sent down the ice. I don't think it's going to be ice in it, but it's picked up by Dord, who got bumped off the puck. Eventually, Vinny J gets it. He was bumped off himself, but then a big hit by my teammate number 4 there. I'm not sure who that is. And his shot is blocked, and then Langdon pounces on it. Top 10 in hits. 4 guys from the Blackhawks are on the list. Here we go. 2-0 Seattle, 9:25 to go in the first. Here in game 5. As we lead the series, the Kraken do 3-1, and the Kraken also lead the game 2-0. So we lead the series 3-1. And we lead the series 3-1, and we lead the game 2-0. Pass behind the net now. I just big hit that guy in the corner. And kept it in the zone, though, is Chicago. Right to the slot, intercepted by Vince Dunn. Turned it over, though, to Belit. Blocker saved by the goaltender. Delayed penalty on Seattle. I'm not sure who it's on, but it's on our team. Sits on 5 for Chicago. Center pass got blocked by me. And the whistle is blown. Tallest interference. Is it on me? Oh, I was like, it shouldn't be on me. It's on Vince Dunn, our number 29, or one of our 2 defensemen. I don't know what, our second defensive line, I think, or third. So I'm not on the penalty kill, so that's why I'm off the ice here. Will Chicago get on the board? Hopefully not, but I just have a feeling they will. It's a tie game. They scored 2 goals. I'm not sure if the first one was... It's a tie game. I think I said that right before the last clip ended, but you can see right there, it's a tie game. As the Blackhawks scored 2 goals when I was off the ice, there is 2:21 to go in the first period. It's a 2-2 game. I'm not sure if the first goal was a power play goal I'm not sure if the first goal was a power play goal after that interference penalty on Vince Dunn. But either way, Chicago scored 2 goals when I was off the ice for about, 6 minutes? Or 5 minutes, and it's 2-2. What a hit! But that, I think, was a little late. So it's interference or charging. Blocker save, or save rather, by Dreeder. And they're calling, they're calling elbowing actually. I thought it would be interference or charging, but it's elbowing. We're on the penalty kill again. So Chicago has a chance to take the lead here. 1:43 to go in the period. They did not score at least in the first 1:43 of the power play. It will roll over into the second period. 2-2 after 20 minutes of play here in game 5. We scored 2 goals in the first minute and a half of the first period, and then after that we didn't score, and Chicago scored 2 goals. In the final 7 minutes of the first period, Chicago did score 2 goals, like I said, in the final 7 minutes of the first period. Let's get into the second period right now, here in game 5. Blackhawks 2, Kraken 2. It was 2-0 Seattle, now it's 2-2, and I'm still in the penalty box for, 17 seconds, I'm pretty sure, if I'm doing my math right. I do have an assist. I did assist on our second goal, which was scored by Jordan Eberle. We do kill off the final 13 seconds, or 27 seconds rather, of my penalty, and they score! To Brintet! Right when I came out of the penalty box, he was just walked right into Brintet did right when I came out of the box, and he scored. And the Blackhawks have scored 3 unanswered, and they have their first lead of game 5. As they scored 33 seconds into the second, assisted by Taves. And Chicago has their first lead of game 5. Shot stopped by Dreeder. So it's 3-0 Seattle. Now it's 3-2 Chicago. Up ahead, that got picked off by the captain Taves. Here's the Brintet. Center and pass. Stopped by Dreeder. 18-15 to go in the second. 3-2 Blackhawks. Top 10 in points. I'm first on that list. It didn't highlight me, but I was first. I already knew that. I'm not first in goals, I think, in the playoffs, but I'm first in points. And maybe even assists. What a hit! Now below the net, or below the goal line. Here's Eberle. That got picked off by that Kubalik. And now Jones, that got blocked and went wide of the net. And a slapper! Got all the way through. Drieger, I think, not a piece, or it went wide. Up ahead, Vinny J, that got blocked. Here's Giordano. Eberle got it through. Vinny J! And that almost went in. I think it was blocked. Now it's behind the net. Jones has got it. I think I was hit as I shot it, so it was like a knuckleball when I shot it instead of a fastball. Good save by Drieger. Here's Larson. I mean, my goodness, pass the putt. I mean, he just... Here we go. Here's Jones. A shot stopped by Drieger, and he covers. 14:53 to go in the second. Yes, they did call for that putt, and then he but like he would just circle around doing nothing. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Come on, boys. Do have one assist in this game, assisted on a second goal, and it's 4-2 Chicago. 4-2 Chicago now. Dylan Strome, I believe it says, or I believe it said Dylan Strome scored a power play goal. 12:04 to go in the second. It was 2-0 Kraken. Now it's 4-2 Blackhawks. They scored 4 and answered, and stopped by Drieger. 11:43 to go in the period. Like I said, we were up 2-0, but the Blackhawks had scored 4 and answered to be up by 2. Man, faceoff's 14-4 in favor of Chicago. My goodness. I don't know if we technically won that or lost it. Here's Trocheck. I believe this team does have Vincent Trocheck. What a hit! Helmet's off of the Chicago player, so he has to go to the bench. But they have the puck in their offensive zone. And that's into the corner. Somehow Iron did it. And what a hit now. Up ahead to Eberle as we're halfway through Game 5. Open space here. Vinny J blocked. Behind the net. I got it. I lost the punt, Eberle. Right into the pads of Langton in. 9:46 to go in the period. Top 10 in penalty minutes, I'm first. And then Alexiak is 8th. Giordano's 9th. It's not good to be first in penalty minutes. It's like the only category you don't want to be first in. Here we go, as we're halfway through Game 5. 4-2 Chicago. Up ahead, Todran. I blocked it, but Taves picked it up. And Taves stopped at the blue line and was offside on Chicago. Blackhawks do lead the game 4-2, but the Kraken lead the series 3-1. 9 minutes to go. Here we go, back the other way, backhander stopped by Drieger. 8:47 to go, but we're still down by 2. Scored 2 goals in the first minute and a half of the game, and nothing since. And since we scored 2 goals in the first minute and a half of the game, Blackhawks have scored 4 goals, and the shots in the second period are 12-2, and the shots in the game are like 25-10. Here we go, here's Giordano, trying to dump it in, but lost the puck. Here's Eberle. And Eberle will shoot in, he scores! His second goal of the game! Glove side on LinkedIn, and it's a 1-goal game in Game 5. His second goal of the game. Snapped it right, was the top right-hand corner of the net, glove side on LinkedIn, and it's 4-3 with 8:02 to go in the second period as we're back in the game, assisted by the captain Giordano. And here's Larson, and because he didn't take it into the zone, someone was offside. I don't think it was me, it might have been, but it wasn't technically my fault. Fully, because Eberle just didn't slow down at the blue line, and then I was full speed going in, and I was in the zone first, or someone was for Seattle. Here we go, 1-goal game here. What a hit on DeBrincat. And Giordano, I just destroy. Oh, there's a fight. There's a fight here. I drew a penalty, which is the fight in major. It's me and Kubalik. Which I believe is a defenseman. I got an interference call because I hit a Blackhawks player when he didn't have the puck. And now I'm fighting Kubalik here. I have no energy left. Kubalik had like half of his energy bar left. And I lose the fight. Hopefully I'm not injured because I'm slow to get up here. And hopefully I don't get ejected, which I don't think I will. But the Blackhawks will be on the power play because I did have an original 2-minute interference call. Plus a 5-minute major for fighting. So, yeah, I'll get my overall at the second intermission. Still 4-3 Chicago. And it's still 4-3 Chicago after the second period. I did not play again after that fight. 4-3 Blackhawks after 40 minutes here in Game 5. Here we go. One more period, or at least one more regulation period to go. We're down by 1. Shots at 29-17 in favor of Chicago. 4-3 Chicago on the goal column, I guess. Yeah. They're 2 for 4 on the power play, Chicago is, which right now is the difference in the game. Eberle has 2 goals and an assist. I have 1 assist. I assisted on Eberle's first goal. So yeah. So yeah, let's get into the third period here in Game 5. 4-3 Chicago. Will Chicago force a Game 6, or will the Kraken go to the Stanley Cup final in their first year as an NHL franchise? Hopefully it's the second option. And off the top, we win the face-off as Eberle hits the putt, toe drag, and a shot right into the skate of the guy right in front of him, and Lincoln will cover it. 29 seconds into the third. Top 10 assists. There's like 5 Kraken players in the top 10. I'm first in assists. Remember, I have 1 assist in this game. As we lose the face-off, and trying to pass it between his legs backwards to Jones. Up ahead, Kubalik, who I won the fight against me. Pass it over to the Brintet. And I destroyed the Brintet. I hip-checked him into the boards. Here's Larson. Up ahead, Vinny J. Over Yanni Gourde. Save! And it was a juicy rebound right to a Chicago player. And now Taves gets it in. It's hit hard. Up ahead, Yanni Gourde as we're looking for the equalizer. Early in the third. Here's Eberle. Save! Rebounds behind the net. Eberle trying to poke or did it in on the blocker side of Langton. Blocker saved by Langton. As we're 4 minutes into the third. What a hit at the blue line. Here's Larson now. Looking for some space through neutral. And a shot stopped. And now Taves has got it. Over to Jones. To Brintet. All the way up to Taves. And a one-timer! Dreeder read it and made the save. As Eberle has 1 goal from the hat trick. Obviously, what's different in his Dame face right now than the face they had in the Dame is a lot different. He has a playoff beard going. I don't, but he does, and really everyone else does. Power play now. I believe we have a full 2-minute power play. Yeah, it just started 5 seconds ago. 1:55 to go on the power play. 13:20 to go in the period. Looking for the equalizer on the power play. And a shot blocked. Right to Gourde. Stitch save. And now Yarncroke. Around in front save. Lincoln in it. With 1:36 to go on the power play and 13:09 to go in the period. Here we go. I think it's our first power play of the game. Because I think I'm on the first power play unit. Or the second. It's our first power play of the game. And out the tie-up, I couldn't get to the putt quick enough, and Chicago beat me to the punch, and they send it down the ice. Here we go. Here's Tatar. Up ahead, Eberle looking for the hat trick here. And he lost a putt, and almost put that in, though. Langton made the save. 1:13 to go on the power play, and 12:46 to go in the period. Here we go. We had a 2-0 lead, then it was 4-2 Chicago, and then it was 4-3. And we lose a face-off, and it's dumped down all the way to below our goal line by Chicago. Halfway through the power play. Here we go. I say onside. Eberle over to Vinny J. Back door! And it got picked off as there was a lot of people in the slot. 40 seconds to go, or 45 seconds to go on the power play. Here we go. And Eberle lost the putt, trying to toe drag. Half a minute to go on the power play, 12 minutes to go in the period. Or really in regulation, there's 12 minutes to go. All the way up ahead, Vinny J. Over, Gourde! Got around the guy! Saved by Lincoln. Tatar still got it though, and what a save! Score! Eberle has tied the game, and he has a hat trick here in Game 5. His 3rd goal in the playoffs, or 3rd goal of the game, and 11th goal in the playoffs has tied the game. on the power play with 8:19 into the third. The power play Dolan with a tie game. That was a great save by Lankinen on Gord. What a save by... That was an all-for-nothing save, as that was a heck of a save. That was a heck of a save by Lankinen on Gord, but then Lankinen couldn't stop the shot by Eberle. Tie game. What a day. See, what a save with the blocker. Hit the shaft of the stick of Lankinen. Went right to Eberle, and he shot it in. But like I said, right at the end of the last clip, what a save by Lankinen on Gord, but then Eberle put in the rebound, and it's a tie game, 4-4. So it's 2-0 Seattle, then it was 4-2 Chicago, now it's 4-4. 11:41 to go in regulation. 11:41 to go in regulation. That goal was assisted by Gord and Jarnkrok. Here we go. Oh, I was gonna hit him hard, but good thing I didn't. It could have been an elbow in or something like I did earlier. Here we go. Here's Taves. I back-checked and poked it away from behind, all the way up to head to Eberle, looking for 4 goals. I'm gonna get off the ice here though. Here we go. There's a 10:16 to go in the third. It's a 4-4 game. Now 5:26 to go in the third. Still 4-4. Who's gonna be the hero in Game 5? And will Chicago force a Game 6, or will Seattle go to the Stanley Cup final? Here we go. Up ahead, 5 minutes to go in Game 5. Tied at 4. And now rounding front save. And it's still loose. And now Vinny J will bring it in. And a bank pass. That's a good bank pass behind the net, Eberle. And now up ahead, 4 minutes to go in regulation. Now dumped down below the net. And now right on in front of blocked the shot. Oh, it was a good block. Up ahead, Eberle. Shot it. Did screen. He kind of used the defender as a screen. He got it to the goalie, but stopped by Lankinen. 2:37 to go. Still 4-4. Here we go. 2:37 to go in regulation. 4-4 game. Come on, win it, Gord. And Gord wins the face-off. And I did not mean to pass it over there. And I meant to pass it to the number 8, which is, I think was Giordano. Instead, it went to the boards. Here we go. What a hit! And he lost his helmet. What a hit! Here's Giordano now, the captain, with 70 seconds to go. And now Giordano! Oh, I thought that was going in, but Lankinen sent it to the boards. 50 seconds. Now dump below, down behind the net. Here's Eberle looking for 4. And he has got hit hard. And that guy just got hit hard. That almost was put in their own net. Lankinen will cover it. Offensive face-off for Seattle. 40 seconds to go. And I'm off the ice. Okay, so I could have watched the last 40 seconds, but I'm going to sim it. And we are going to overtime here in Game 5. Oh my goodness. I will start overtime unless... Yeah, it's 5-on-5, so I'm starting overtime, and if we do not score on my first shift, I will watch overtime. I will not be simming. But yeah, I'll be starting overtime. This is a heck of a game. Will we go to the Stanley Cup? Will the Kraken go to the Stanley Cup final, or will the Blackhawks force a Game 6 back in Chicago? We'll find out here in overtime. No shootouts, remember, in the playoffs. Here's the Brinket. What a hit! And I did not get the puck. The Brinket. Right in front, score! And the Blackhawks have forced a Game 6 as they scored 35 seconds into overtime. As the Brinton was hit hard, but he got hit hard, got back up, got the puck, and then he passed it to his teammate in the slot, and he shoots it blocker side on Dreeder, and we are going to a Game 6, and it's a captain, Jonathan Taves. Blocker side on Dreeder from the slot. And the Blackhawks win at 5-4 in overtime. And we are going back to Chicago for Game 6. That was disappointing right there. That was what I wanted to see. We're playing their zone and keeping the pressure on them. Coach, the game's over. I mean, like, yes, we had a 2-0 lead literally 90 seconds into the game. Then it was 4-2 Chicago, and then 4-4. We came back, fought back, tied at 4, but then we'd lose it 35 seconds into overtime. My goodness. Taves, 3rd assist, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 hits. I think I had just the 1 assist. No, I think I just had the 1 assist. 2nd star is Yanni Dord. The 1st star is going to be Eberle, who had 3 goals, a playoff hat trick in the loss. He had 3 goals and 1 assist, and 7 shots. And then I just had that 1 assist, which was on Eberle's 1st goal back in the 1st. I did have, I only had 1 shot on goal. That's the thing. I only had 1 shot on goal. I had 1 goal, or I had 1 assist, 1 point, a +1 for plus minus, and then only 1 shot on goal. Dord had 9, Eberle had 7. I only had 1. I did have that 1 assist though. Yeah, I only had 1 shot on goal. And I did have 5 hits though. I did have 9 penalty minutes because I had the 5-minute. I had 9 penalty minutes. I had the 5-minute midget for fighting. Oh yeah, because then I had the 5-minute midget for fighting, 2-minute minor for elbowing, and then a 2-minute minor for then a 2-minute minor for interference. Yeah, that was disappointing there. As I completed the challenge of up the pressure, although we lost the game. And the Blackhawks win Game 5, 5-4 in overtime here in Seattle, and this series is going back to Chicago for a Game 6. And I'm tempted to play Game 6 right now, but I'm probably not. I want to, but also this video is probably already like 35 minutes long. It's probably at least 30 minutes long, and if I play another game, it should be like a 50-minute video or even an hour. So yeah, we're not going to the Stanley Cup final in this episode, unfortunately, but it's just a video game at the end of the day, and we still have a 3-2 series lead, and we still have 2 more chances to win the series. Game 6 is in Chicago. Game 7, if there is one, is back in Seattle. And yeah, next episode of the series will be Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals, and I will hopefully be able to film. And I will hopefully be able to film the next episode of the series, hopefully I'll be able to film the next episode of the series, which will be Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals. I'll hopefully be able to film the next episode of the series soon. The next video on this channel will most likely be the next episode of my Dallas Stars NHL 22 franchise series. We're also in the playoffs in my Dallas Stars NHL 22 franchise series. The next episode of that series is Round 2, Game 7 against the Seattle Kraken, which is kind of ironic because Vinny did on the Seattle Kraken might be a pro. So the next video on this channel will most likely be the next episode of my Dallas Stars NHL 22 franchise series. And the next episode of that series, regardless of when I post it, will be Round 2, Game 7 against the Kraken. In Seattle, too. And the next episode of this series will be Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals against the Blackhawks in Chicago with the Kraken up 3-2. As the Kraken do, like I said, do lose Game 5, 5-4 in overtime here on home ice in Seattle, and this series is going back to Chicago for a Game 6, but the Kraken are still at 3-2. I do not want the series to go to a Game 7, and hopefully that is the next episode of the series. It might be the video, it might be like 2 videos from now on this channel. It might be the video after, like I said, I already said what the next episode, I already said what the next video on this channel will most likely be. The next episode of this series could be 2 videos from now on this channel. If it's not 2, hopefully it's only like 2 or 3 videos from now. Hopefully the next episode of the series will be 2 or 3 videos from now here on this channel, which is RFL Football and Damon. But yeah, and you might be thinking, where the heck is RFL and Football and Damon even from? Well, I created an RFL at my school. It stood for, because my school is in Rosanke, Texas. It stands for Rosanke Football League. And we played at school, so that's why I got RFL Football, Rosanke Football League, or RFL, Rosanke Football League, and that's where I got the RFL from, and then I just put football, and then obviously Damon, because it's the Damon channel. But yeah, that's how I got that's where the name came from. I haven't said where the name came from, at least in a while, but that's where the name came from, if you didn't know, which you probably didn't, because I haven't said where the name came from, or I didn't say where the name came from. I have said it before, but I haven't said it in a couple of years at least. But now I have, so now you know where the name of this channel came from. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, despite me losing here in Game 5 and the Kraken not going to the Stanley Cup Final, but we still have 2 more chances to get to the Stanley Cup Final here in the Kraken's first year as an NHL franchise. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, that's pretty much it. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, that's time red closing the board. Okay, that's time red closing the board. If it's up, so hit the like button. Subscribe if you have the end. Tell your mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know what? I'm gonna see you in episode number 16 of this Vinny J NHL 22 Be a Pro series. See you in episode number 16. And eat on of bacon and dough cracking.